Temp check. What kind of summer are we having this year? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, choose your own adventure and skip the shopping side quests. Where available, you can get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door. In as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you find yourself this summer, you can get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
They love it on Nebula. They're wild about it on Taurinus. Even on Motus, where they don't like anything at all, they eat it up.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
I've got things I like to do. I like to watch television.
Jeff Lutz.
Well, you're just talking about all these shows like old man.
Right.
What is that? Like every show that starts, well, I'm watching it. I don't get it.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
Good afternoon and welcome. It is Bob and Jeff on KFH. We start the week without Bob today, and we have in his place not Jason Duda, not David Michael Hahn, not Anthony Capra, not Jamin Anderson. These, Anthony, are some of the, some of the relics of the past on this show. You are our present and our future. It's the big fella. Anthony, what's going on today?
If I told you what was going on, you would ask me, why am I doing here?
Well, perfect. Let's do it. What's going on? We want to know. You've listened to this show before.
All
you
right.
know that everything is out on the table. Especially if you're the one who sort of kind of brings it up, which is what you did just now.
Okay.
So now you have to tell us exactly what's going on. You're decked out in your Emmitt Smith jersey.
Classic.
You've got your Cowboys hat on.
Right.
You've got your energy drink settled in your left hand. And what is going on in your life today?
All right, so I worked third shift last night,
Okay, that's tough already.
10 to 6, got off at 4:30. Didn't try to get no sleep because I had to be at another job at 7 o'clock this morning and get
But
off
what
at
in the
11.
world, Anthony? You're working harder than Jason Duda.
That's what I do, I guess. So y'all going to get my Shaquille O'Neal voice today.
Well, whatever works. As long as we get something out of you.
Well, if I can get you to act like Chuck Barkley,
Don't I always?
and then I can throw a chicken wing at you.
I mean, there's worse things to have thrown at you, right?
Chitlins.
Never had those. a staple of African-American culture that I've never had. Maybe that makes sense. Tell us about chitlins, because I think this has come up on the show before. I've never heard of them. I mean, I've heard of them, obviously. I've never had them.
It's part of the pig, and we're going to get a whole lot of people called in and talk about, that's the nastiest thing I ever tasted. It tastes good when you get some Louisiana hot sauce and slap between 2 pieces of bread and make a chitlin sandwich out of it.
It's not just part of the pig, Anthony. It's cooked pig intestines.
Well,
Now,
then,
if I could have bacon...
If you knew what it was, why'd you ask me what it was?
I didn't know what it was. I just Googled it. If I could have bacon, if I could have a ham sandwich of some kind, if I could have a pork roast, those are the places I'm going for the pig. I'm not going to the intestines. No offense. I might have a nice hot dog, all beef though. Pork, no, it's different. But I'm not having chitterlings or chitlins, as they're colloquially known.
That's too proper to say chitterlings.
I don't think anyone says that.
Right, nobody says it. We just say chitlins.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds much better.
It's
That's
called
way
ebonics.
cooler.
Ebonics.
That's perfect. You know, I'm a scholar. I'm a doctor of ebonics. Did you know that?
So that means you know a little bit about thugonomics then.
A little bit. I'm a doctor of
John Cena.
thugonomics.
Can you see me?
Yes, exactly. It's all there for me. You want to hear what we have on the show today?
Yeah, I'm ready to hear this.
Because it's absolutely incredible.
Don't make me look bad though.
Why not? Does Bob make you look bad?
No. At least he tries not to. So.
Well,
and I don't
that's
need you
different. He tries to make me look bad every day. Are you going to open your energy drink? You got to get rolling here. Well, I do have a question first. Since we talk about everything, you have a lot of keys. Are those work keys? Are those house keys? You got some key chains on there.
I got
That's your.
A
That
house
seems like
key.
it's your whole life right there.
I got a house key and I got keys for my moped, and this is my key fob for my Mazda CX-5.
What are you driving around today?
I'm driving the CX-5 because I don't trust Rock Road traffic to be on a
Not
moped.
on a moped. I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't even trust Rock Road traffic to be on a three-wheeler and a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's tough. I've never been on either. I have been on a moped. My mom used to ride one around, and I rode with her sometimes. I don't think I've ever been on a motorcycle that I can think of. Maybe once or twice. Never obviously driven it myself. But do you have a motorcycle?
No, but I plan on upgrading my moped to when at top speed, I think they say is 75. That's as close as I'll get to a motorcycle.
Works for me.
Two wheels is actually kind of fun. Once I got on a moped and got the hang of it, I'm like, oh, okay, this thing is fun.
The closest I've gotten to a motorcycle is like an electric
Bicycle?
bike. Those electric bikes are pretty fun.
Yeah, I've seen those big old thick tires like and go off-road.
Yeah, I'm not a risk taker. I live on a dirt road. That's basically off-road by itself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then,
that's enough adventure for me right there.
That's what the electric bike is good for.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't have one. I'll get one. Anyway, here's the show today. 225, Brandon Clark, the Derby High School head football coach.
I love Derby. I'm going to tell you why I love Derby. I went to some basketball games, and that was my first indoctrination into getting back in high school. Well, it started at Mays South, invited by Coach Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson, a wonderful human being. How do you know Joe?
Well, you reach out to these people on X, and he'd be like, yeah, come on out. And I had him on my podcast. He invited me, and it was the Mays South versus Mays game. The atmosphere was like being at Duke, the Cameron Indoor Crazies. And I
don't know, really?
I tweeted it out, and the people just loved it. Then my next game I went to was Derby girls basketball game. Coach Chadwick invited me. And then I went back again, and I was hooked. And it's like the community of Derby, great class of people. So this year, my journey is going to start with football season. I've made connection with people in Cheney, and I can't wait to make connection with Derby on the football side.
Are you going to go to 9 football games in the regular season?
I don't know if I'm going to go to 9 football games, but I'm going to go to my good share of them.
Well, Derby has Hayes. I believe the season starts a month from tomorrow. September 6th, I believe, is their first game against Hayes. You probably should go to that one.
I'll probably go to that one.
Yeah, you should. What other schools are you looking at for attending games?
I'm looking at going to Cheney. I've made some
defending state champions.
Yeah, I've made some good connection with the people in Cheney. They are a great bunch of people.
Coach Shelby Wehrman.
I'm going to definitely reach out to him, but his players, class act people, and I always ask the young people this question right here before I let them off the interview. I asked them 2 things. What's your grade point average? And what's the importance of a good education? And they all seem to nail it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ask me.
All right, what was your grade point average?
In high school?
In high school.
Man, that's a good question. It's probably around...
Go ahead. Mine was like 2.5.
I was probably a little under 3.0. I was probably a 2.8 kind of guy.
Well, you was better than me. And I had to struggle to get to 2.5.
I did not struggle to get a 2.8. Getting a 2.8 is probably the easiest thing I ever did. If I would have tried, I would have exceeded a 2.8 and probably a 3.0. I probably would have been on honor roll regularly. I only made it a couple times.
If I would have had a girlfriend at the time.
I mean, you never know. Whatever motivation you possibly need. And the importance of an education?
Yeah.
Is that the second question?
That was the second
What's your
question.
favorite answer to that question?
Well, they usually end up saying it, paraphrasing. Most of them say it just like this. They say at the end of the day, the ball has to stop bouncing. The passes have to stop flying through the air.
They have that perspective as
they got
18-year-olds and
17, 18-year-olds, right. They know at some point the game isn't going to last forever. And they say you have to have that education to fall back on.
Those are smart kids.
Very smart kids. I mean, whether it be Mays South, Derby kids, Cheney, whoever I asked that, Heights, they seem to nail that question.
Have you ever interviewed Joe Auer from Heights? Has he ever been on your podcast?
I haven't got Joe Auer. I've got Coach Pulliam.
The girls coach.
The girls coach.
Yeah, another good guy. We have had Kip on our show often. We've had Joe on our show quite often.
Yeah.
And, so you're going to be getting around to some football games, and we're going to talk to Brandon Clark, the head coach at Derby. At 2:45, our monthly visit, our first Monday of every month visit from Jamel Holoparik. Do you know that name from Cake News back in the day?
Name does sound familiar. Like you say, it's back in the day, so it's kind of sketchy in my membrane.
Yeah, so she used to be on Cake. Now she is with Visit Wichita. She's one of their PR leaders and directors, and she talks to us every month about the events that are coming to and happening in Wichita. That's a monthly segment, and you just happen to be a part of it. You happen to be here on the Monday, the first Monday of the month.
Good. I get to find out some events because the way my work schedule is with these two jobs and this job right here, look like Friday and Saturday is going to be my only free time.
What does the rest of your day look like after this?
Go back home and sleep because I got to be at work at 10 o'clock tonight.
So you'll have about a 5-hour nap?
Yeah. I need a 5-hour energy.
You got something going on there. I don't know if I'd take that. Right. I mean, right now, yes, you need it to be on the radio and to the energy drink, but you're going to go home and go to sleep. Isn't that going to affect that?
No, I'm tired enough to where I just fall back to sleep, and hopefully my wife won't let me oversleep this time.
That's we can all hope. We can all hope. Do you know why Bob's not here today?
No, I don't know.
He's,
probably something to do with.
Yeah, they're unveiling the Jackie Robinson statue, the new one. We've all seen it. We all saw the old one. We've seen the new one, but it's going to be a grand unveiling tonight at McAdams Park at 6:00 at the Pavilion. Have you heard some of the people who are coming to this thing?
I haven't got wind of some of the people that are coming. I've seen his Facebook post, so I've seen some of the people that put the work in to make that happen. So.
Well, we expect a lot of people from Wichita, in and around the community. We expect probably some media to attend, local, national, and otherwise. But we got some luminaries from the game of baseball, including former Cleveland Indian, and he was just inducted into the Cleveland Indians, Guardians, Naps, Buckeyes, Cleveland Baseball Hall of Fame on Saturday.
Which name
CC Sabathia.
CC.
CC Sabathia is scheduled to be here.
He just looked intimidating on the mound.
He was and still is a big man. He was 6'7".
I wouldn't want to meet him in the dark alley.
300+ pounds. Threw hard. Had some intensity to him. Yeah, CC was the man.
I'm surprised he didn't get hired by Vince McMahon.
Well, there's still time. He's still a relatively young man. He's only, in his early 40s?
Right.
There are plenty of wrestlers out there still doing it in their early 40s.
50s.
Exactly.
He could probably slam Logan Paul.
Yeah. I would probably. Logan Paul, come on. He's yesterday's news, right? He lost.
Yeah, he lost.
He lost at SummerSlam. Poor guy. CC Sabathia will be here. Joe Torre will be here.
Former manager of the Yankees.
Yes, Cardinals, Mets, I believe he managed. Dodgers, Hall of Famer. Works now as a special assistant to the commissioner. So there'll be other people from Major League Baseball. Jeremy Guthrie, former Royal, drafted by Cleveland.
You like that name Cleveland, don't you?
Well, I like the baseball team in Cleveland.
Which name do you like better, Guardians or Indians?
Guardians. You know why?
Why?
Because that's the name we have now.
How long did it take for that name to warm up to you?
I thought it was going to be Guardians. There was like about a year at least, or it seemed like about a year, where the name was kind of hanging in the balance. Hey, we're going to change it. We're going through this process. And there were some names that were kind of floated out there.
Spiders.
And one of them was Guardians, and I liked the Guardians the best, and they're named the Guardians. So I'm a Guardians guy.
They could have been the Rockers. I mean, Avatar.
Yeah, but there was a WNBA team called the Rockers.
Yeah, key word is was.
Yeah, but we don't want to redo that. We don't want to redo Spiders either. You know what I'm saying?
You could redo Rockers and commemorate the, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. Yeah.
It's been done.
Put musical symbols on there.
Maybe. But it's over. They're the Guardians, right?
Or have a picture of a famous Rock and Roll Hall of Fame guy on their jersey.
Jimi Hendrix. I think we'd probably need some clearance to use his name, image, and likeness.
Oh, y'all can get that. I mean, how much money do the Cleveland baseball franchise make?
Not enough.
They can afford it.
Not enough.
They can afford it.
Is the answer to that question. And finally, you'll remember this name, another blast from the past. I don't know who else has been a blast from the past. Maybe CC Sabathia. But at 3:25, Who's on the show, Anthony? Corleone Young.
Corleone Young, Wichita East High legend. I still say he should have went to college.
Well, we're not going to tell him that.
I could tell him that.
You are?
Hey, I used to work at a store called Osco back in the day.
Osco?
Yep.
Not Costco.
No, not Costco. Osco Drug.
Okay,
right?
I think
He
I
used to
may
be
have
right
heard
there
of
on
that.
Central and Hillside, and he would come in there, and he would let it be known, yeah, I'm going pro. I'm like, come on, man, please go to college at least 1 year.
You told him that?
I told him that.
Why
I said,
didn't he listen to you?
nobody listens to me.
That's true. I know the feeling.
I'm sure you do, but we're not going to talk about that. We want to keep the show at least PG-13.
Corleone Young is...
But he's a good guy, though.
That's the hope, yes. Corleone Young is hosting a event for first responders.
And I like his story because, after he left the basketball scene, he pretty much has, revamped his life. And
Yeah, he's done a lot of
basically
stuff.
Giving back to the community.
He's been a first responder himself, I believe. I think he worked in the sheriff's department. We'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask Corleone what he's been up to over the last few years because he's here in Wichita.
Yeah.
He's doing good things.
Yeah.
He's a positive influence, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So he went to college. He didn't go to college. Here he is, making something of
Right.
his life. That's all that matters,
It just
right?
goes to show that college isn't for everybody and everybody isn't for college. And at the end of the day, it's what you do with your life. And he's making an impact.
College was not for me. Man, if I had some basketball skills, just any basketball skills, I would have said I'm going to Hargrave Military Academy, and then I'm going to go to the Pistons, and that'd be my life. And if it worked out, great. If it didn't, whatever. But I had to go to college.
Yeah, I tried the college thing, Hutchinson Community College, and I missed when I even went. If you look at my grade point average in college.
What was your grade point average in college?
Very low.
Did you make it out? Did you get through?
I ain't even walk across stage. I was just marking time.
Yeah.
I was enjoying the college experience without putting in
At
the college
Hutch?
work. At
Was there a
Hutch.
college experience at Hutch?
Well, their football team wasn't what it is now.
No.
It wasn't what it is now. And
So
unfortunately,
that left other things to do. Is that what you're saying?
basketball was the thing back then. Coach Dave Farrar, and they actually won the national title back then.
Their basketball team's still good.
Still
Their
good.
women's team just won the national championship.
Undefeated.
Yes.
But I tell you who's going to give them a run for their money. Mark my words. Butler County.
In football?
In basketball. Butler County women's program is going to give them a run for
Yeah,
their money.
Butler's been good for a long time. But they haven't quite been to the level of Hutch.
On the women's side,
Is
they're
Mike
gonna-
Helmer still coaching over there?
The women's?
Yeah.
I imagine that's who they – because, see, I met the coach at the I-35 showcase here back in June, and I met a lot of coaches there. I almost felt like I was royalty the way they was treating me. And I was talking to the coach. I'm like, yeah, they're like Butler's going to make a run for Hutch's title with all their acquisitions of players that they picked up.
Are we picking up players now in JUCO? Going into the transfer portal? I don't know how any of this works anymore.
Straight out of high school, they got the Smith girls out of Derby. They got the two seniors, Maya Mayberry, and I can't think of the other one, out of Heights.
Okay.
They got 5A Player of the Year, Ashley Singate out of Mays South.
Really? She's going to Butler.
Going to Butler.
Well, this sounds like a
Plus, they
heck
got
of
a
a team.
transfer out of Kilgore Community College.
Well, you might be right.
They're stacked. I mean, their recruiting class, I believe they probably might have the number one recruiting class in the Jayhawk division.
Well, that's impressive. And that's been something that Butler's been able to do under Mike Helmer. I think he's still there. You can somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but he's always gotten local players to come play at Butler. And not every coach in the area has been able to do that, especially when we're talking about people at Wichita State. Their coaches and their program hasn't been able to get the local players in, but Butler's been able to do that. So that's our show today, Anthony.
Sounds like a good show.
I think I might test you with a little game at the end of the show.
I can play those games when I'm listening on the radio. I don't know what I might do while we live on the air.
This is just a little see what you know kind of game.
All right.
There's no pressure, really.
Okay.
My dad, always when I quiz people, he thinks I'm trying to get him. I'm not trying to get you. I just want to see what you know. There are some answers, questions in the game that I've prepared that I wouldn't have even known. So if you don't know them, who cares?
Sounds fair
Or if
to
you
me.
do know them, amazing. But I will tell you, it's a basketball-centric game.
So is there a prize for me, a little gentleman's bet?
That'll be, Max will determine that. Our producer and engineer, Max Power. If he has prizes over there that he can give you, it looks like he has some kind of a stash of prizes in the corner. He's got a duster. He's got Clorox wipes. If you need cleaning supplies, he's your guy.
I'm covered. I'm on food.
All right. I don't know if we have any of that. I always look for it, though, first thing in. Donut day, it is not. And, you live with it. All right, we'll take a break right now, come back and talk with the head coach at Derby High School. Season gets going in just a little over a month. We'll see how the summer's been for the Panthers and what they've been up to recently. I don't even know if practice has begun. So we'll talk with Brandon Clark, the Derby football coach. When we come back, Anthony, the big fella's in for Bob. Max takes us to break. I'm Jeff, and it's Bob and Jeff on KFH.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say, I'm sorry. And then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee for your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
We are about to be joined by the head football coach at Derby, Brandon Clark. Brandon, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. Good to talk to you again. So how's your summer been? How's the team looking? We'll start with that kind of general question. How are you feeling as, you still got a little more than a month before the season starts, but I'm sure it'll come fast.
Yeah, it's kind of a late season too. It seems like
it does.
Next week we usually start up practice, but we don't play our first game till September 6th. But no, it's been a good summer. The kids have come together. We're kind of a senior-led football team, so they've kind of taken the reins and done a really good job of leading this team this summer. And our attendance is pretty good. The excitement all the way down to, we just got done with our Derby Junior football camp, and that was first grade through sixth grade, and did a middle school camp, did a high school camp, saw the kids all summer long, Monday through Thursday in the morning, and worked them out. So it's been a good summer.
You talk about attendance, and I have to imagine it's pretty good every year, if not better than pretty good. Is there still work you have to do for that to happen? Do you have to get other kids out who may not have come out? Do you have to get some of the younger kids out who may have been thinking about not playing or anything like that? Is there still work that is put into making sure kids get there?
Well, kids are always going to be kids, and we always tell our kids if you're on vacation, family vacation, church camp, other sports that you're playing in the summer, go do it. But when you're in town, show up. And we have enough kids that it's kind of the opposite. We always try to get our good athletes out in Derby, but a lot of times we just want to weed out those kids that don't want to show up and put in the work, because there's kids right behind them that want to put in the work, and those are the kids we want to play.
Coach, this is, as they call me, the big fella. My name is Anthony, and first of all, I want to say I enjoy the Derby community. The basketball program hooked me in so much so until I plan to make a trip to Derby to check out a football game. So the first game I want to know is, who's your first game against? And tell me a reason I should come to that first game.
Well, our first game is in Hayes, so I'm not sure if you want to come and watch that game. But that's a little out there, Hayes, America. But no, they're going to be a really good team to play. They're always physical and really well coached, and always have good athletes out there. So it's going to be a tough game one. But our first home game is going to be Hayesville, and that's kind of rivalry. They got a new coach out there that's doing really good things and getting the community excited, getting the players excited. So I got a feeling that week 2 home game is going to be pretty big.
And here's another question I'd like to ask. I know I asked it on the basketball side, but on the football side, you guys are a 6A school. but I know y'all have played 5A schools. What is the talent level, 5A versus 6A, or is there much of a drop-off between the two?
It's yearly. It all depends on what type of players you have, what type of senior and junior classes you have. And, just comparing myself to our team, Derby, to Mill Valley, my cousin coaches out there, and he once was a coach here, and there's been years where they've had a better team. There's been years we've had a better team. So I think a lot of times it depends on, what type of team they have. I know this year 6A is going to be really good. Just looking at all the teams around here that have a lot of talent and are coached well. And we definitely have a tough route to try to get it back to state.
Brandon Clark, our guest, head football coach at Derby High School. So, who are some of – actually, I was going to ask you about last season. You make it all the way to the state championship game. What's your lasting memory of that season? When did you kind of put that away? And how much is getting to that game and coming up just short, how much is that a motivating factor going into this season?
No, there's a lot of motivation that goes into that. You can kind of press some buttons with the kids in the weight room throughout the off season and all that. But our kids are pretty hungry. I know our coaching staff is really hungry. If it was a different day and not so much snow, there may have been a different outcome to that game. So it's kind of devastating, especially when you have a senior son and all his friends and families that really, really well go out like that at the state championship game. But at least we got to make the trip and play in the snow, I guess, for that last game. But there has been some motivation behind that. And because we did, we played our part in that. We kind of made some mistakes and they kind of came back and hurt us at the end of the game. So trying to get over all that mental stuff and, get the mental toughness of the team back and get them rolling.
Yeah, you're replacing a lot of your team, but I know you have some really good players coming back. So what's the challenge in replacing, your quarterback, a lot of guys on your offensive line, defense, and who are some of the names that you might expect to see in those spots?
Yeah, we've got a couple quarterbacks battling out, and they're doing a good job. And it's kind of a friendly battle, so I've been really, really proud of them. We've got Arias Finley, who's going to be a sophomore. He's a running back, and John Lujan, who's also kind of an H-back running back. And obviously we have our tight end, Desan Brame. He's taller, bigger, faster, better hands than last year, so he's going to be a much improved player. It's pretty amazing seeing him come along. And then we got Max Robinson on the O-line and Goebel on the O-line. We got some good offensive line guys and a couple good receivers. Bledsoe, actually, we got more than a couple good receivers. And then what I'm probably most excited about is our defense. Our defense, they fly around. We're big up front, which we're usually not too big up front. So it's going to be good to have a heavy D line, and we got 4 linebackers, 5, 6 linebackers that know the system really well, and we can plug them in wherever we want. And then probably have 2 of the better safeties in the state, in Ethan Slane and Jimmy. They're just phenomenal. And then we got Martell at corner that's going to K-State. So I'm super excited to watch our defense fly around, and they're very aggressive and like to hit. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Coach, I have another question for you because it seemed like, from what I've been observing of Derby, it seemed like you guys have become also running back high school. A lot of people was wondering what's going to happen after the Dylan Edwards era ends, but then you just plug in another running back. So is it safe to say that Derby is beginning to be running back high?
That or tight end high. I think both of them. Yeah, we've had some really good tight ends and some really good running backs. And I'll tell you, looking all the way down to the first grade, we're not going to drop off anytime soon. So it's pretty fun.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
it's
there you go.
Problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, definitely. We're talking with Brandon Clark, the football coach at Derby High School. So you went through it with Dylan, a high-level recruit in this new era of college football. You've experienced it with Desan. He's committed to Tennessee, and we know that's always in flux. So what has it been like helping those kids navigate that in this era of they're getting paid? They could decommit. There's coaches constantly after them. I'm sure there's some similarities to the way used to be, but there seems like a lot of differences too.
Yeah, it's a little different. They've kind of opened it up too, and now you got the issue with the kids. They're getting money thrown at them. They're getting NILs and all that stuff. And back in the day, you used to go to the program and the coach that you wanted to play for, and now money's taken over, and it's kind of hard to say, are these kids making decisions for the right fit, or are they making decisions because it's the right thing to do for their life to set them up for life after college, getting paid so much. So it's different. Coaches are out here all the time. In the springtime, I bet you we had 100 D1 coaches stop by, watch workouts, and then D2 and JUCO. But the thing that kind of changes a little bit is I don't see as many, and we still do, but the D2s, the smaller schools, because they're just waiting to see what the D1 portal is going to look like and start picking kids up from there. So it's kind of worked its way all the way down, but it's a tricky situation. Hopefully they can figure it out and kind of get some barriers to it, or some guidelines to what they can do and what they can't do. But the kids, they're just getting hammered with text and emails and phone calls. And I think it was state semifinal game. Deshaun said he got like 300 texts from different coaches just on game day.
Wow.
And I think there needs to be some regulations to that.
Yeah, that's wild. And, you talked about Deshaun and bigger, stronger, faster this year. He had an unbelievable season last year. What could that look like as far as production-wise? What does that do for and to your offense? We can put him wherever on the field. He can play wide receiver, he can play H-back, he can play tight end. So people are going to have to account for him, and a lot of teams are going to have to account a couple people on him. So he's done a phenomenal job. He's also a really, really good blocker. He helps us in the run game a lot. He steals that edge. He's able to get out DNs and go hit linebackers. So just watching the maturity of him, watching him grow, watching his speed. He is so much faster. We handheld him at a 4.48 last week, and when you're 6'6" and you're 230, he had a vertical jump of 40 inches. That's a pretty good football player. Not bad at all. Brandon Clark, our guest. Final moments. Just wanted to ask you, about the league. How you think it's shaping up? Who could challenge you? It sounds like you're extremely confident in what you have, but Division I is always tough. So what does that look like?
Oh yeah, and we've got a ways to go. We've got some good players, some good kids, but we've got a long ways to go. We're in the middle of boot camp right now. I barely made it out of first station this morning. But our league's always extremely tough. And you add Bishop Carroll and Hayes to it. Mays is always going to be good. Hutch, I hear, is really good, really physical. There's not too many games that we can just kind of relax on. We've got to put a good game plan together, get our kids to know the game plan, because all these other teams are really well coached up.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. And, yeah, it was like I saw the schedule today. I'm like, do they usually start in early September? I thought games usually were in August. Am I crazy?
Yeah, no, we usually play that Friday before Labor Day, and we don't play till the Friday after Labor Day. So it's going to be a little weird. We're going to be in class for a week before we start.
Yeah, that's strange. Well, I know we'll talk to you again before the season starts. Good luck as real practice begins here shortly, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, you guys have a good one.
All right,
thanks for having me on.
Yep, thanks.
Bye.
There goes Brandon Clark. Did he convince you? You're probably not driving to Hayes, are you?
No, I'm probably not driving to Hayes, but
that'd be a good game, though.
It'd be a good game. I'm just not driving there.
It's far, but it's not that far.
If I could do it, I probably would.
Take the moped out.
Where's Bob at when I need him now?
You don't think the moped could get you to Hayes? Just to force 7 refuels on the way there?
I am not trying to be a risk taker. Not like that.
Okay.
Now, if it was the one that went up to 75 miles per hour, I might would chance that, but I think the most this one would go is 60. So
I don't even know if I want to take a moped at its max speed. That seems pretty dangerous to me. Even if it goes 75, the speed limit out there is going to be 75. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'd probably
stick with the Mazda.
The Mazda, yeah.
Well, think about it. You've got a month.
You know what? I forgot to ask him a question, but I can get your thoughts on this. What do you think about the changes that?
Is it your turn to draft? What's going on over there?
What do you think about the changes that they have made with the scheduling as far as the
State
championship games.
I like it. I want to see how it looks this first year, where they're having 3 state title games at one side and
right.
3 at another, or whatever it happens to be. However many classes there are now, but yeah, I think that's good.
I like it, except I think that the 6A game should be the feature game. Let them have their game by themselves. You can have 4 and 5A the day before.
I think isn't that what they're doing or something.
Well, no,
like
6A
that?
is playing like that Friday, and then 4 and 5A is playing that Saturday.
Okay. Well, they sort of have a day to themselves.
Yeah, but I think they should have the feature game by themselves like that Saturday.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I know that in this state things kind of happen slowly, so it's good to get that first step down, you know,
I get it. It's an
knock down
experiment.
that first barrier, and then we'll see maybe in 30 or 40 years if they'll switch things
I
up.
hope it don't take that long.
It might.
I mean, if enough people talk about it.
We're getting some progress, though. We
We're
got
getting
that.
right.
We got the shot clock in basketball.
Finally.
So there's some good things happening in high school sports in Kansas. Let's go back to the IHOP hotline and talk with Jamel Holoparik from Visit Wichita. She's going to tell us what's happening this month in Wichita. Jamel, how's it going?
Hi, friends. Doing fantastic. How are you today?
You've brightened our day. We're very good. It's a Monday. We were dragging a little bit, and now we've got a second win thanks to this conversation.
Okay, well, good. Where's your dad today? What's he doing?
Bob is. They've got the unveiling of the Jackie Robinson statue tonight, so he's handling some early logistics for that and getting everything ready to go.
I love it. That's fantastic. Hey, I heard you guys talk about music and different things, and that kind of just triggered my mind a little bit. Tomorrow night, if people are interested, because you know how fun live music is. You know, I think people love that around here. Well, the Blues Traveler and Big Head Todd and the Monsters will be at the Wave tomorrow night at 7:30.
What's your favorite Big Head Todd and the Monsters song?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Yes, but continue your pitch. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, they were popular in the 90s, right?
Yes.
And so, I don't know. Everybody seems to love, that Hook song?
Yeah, that's Blues Traveler. That's a very good song. They've got a few.
Okay, Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about Big Head Todd. What about you? Do you have a favorite?
I'm looking them up to see if I know any of their songs, and I don't know if I do or not. They had a song called Resignation Superman that got to the top 40 in modern rock, so there's something.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know, sometimes, I just love being outside in the summer, even though when it's super hot, like in the evenings, I love live music outside. And the Wave is a cool venue, so that's kind of fun, I think.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool venues. It would have been fun.
We do.
We always try to get those guys or those ladies who are performing here on our show. It would have been fun to get like a John Popper, the lead singer of Blues Traveler, but, maybe next time.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I know. So, yeah, that's going on. And like you said, we do have a lot of great venues. Even like out at Stearman Restaurant or Chicken Pickle, they have live music. A bunch of different locations, you can just find them, and it's fun. It just makes the environment better, I think, don't you?
Absolutely. We're a good live music town. It appears that we've turned into a pretty good golf town. We had the Wichita Open, obviously. We've got public, private courses. We had a women's tournament last weekend. What do we have coming up this weekend in Wichita?
Hey, great question. Good job. We have the AJGA Wichita Junior Championships going on. That's out at Teradyne Country Club. And it's going to be going on pretty much all week. And, these kids are the up-and-coming golfers. And there's several Kansas players to look out for as well. So that'll be kind of fun to see how they do.
It really will. I'm looking at this, and I don't know how much information you have, but on your website, some events happening today include an immersive dome experience of the state of Kansas at Exploration Place. Even if you don't know fully about that, it seems like Exploration Place is always coming up with something pretty interesting.
Right, exactly. And it's fun. And when you go in there, I went into that dome the other day, and I watched, what was it? It was kind of a girls' outing. Oh, Dirty Dancing. They have Dirty Dancing in that dome. And, people were dressed up as the characters. It's a good time. So, yeah, like Exploration Place always gets involved in so many events, which is fantastic. But, so that's going on this weekend. And then, hey, I was going to tell you, a newbie night. I like this. This is out at Chicken and Pickle, Tuesday, August the 13th. This is if you're a little shy, but you kind of want to learn pickleball, but you feel like you're going to get killed.
Yes, that'd
right?
be us.
If you go out there and just start playing with all these great players. This is called Newbie Night, and it's from 6 to 7:30. So if you're just kind of starting with pickleball, do you play, Jeff?
Man, I played when it wasn't cool to play. I played like in middle school. And I don't think anybody had heard of pickleball then, and now everybody plays pickleball. It's crazy.
I know. What they call it back then?
It was pickleball.
Now, they called it that back then, but just nobody really played it. Well, how did you play it? Your school played it or what? Like,
yeah, it was just a PE lesson a couple days, and it was Mr. Ingalls, who was at Hadley for a long time. He might still be there for all I know, but he taught us pickleball, and I'm like, now people think like pickleball is this new thing, and did I just imagine that I played pickleball 30 years ago? I don't even know.
Well, I'm wondering, are you sure it wasn't badminton?
It wasn't, because they had blue mats and they had wiffle balls and wooden paddles. Isn't that pickleball?
Okay, that's pickleball. You got it. I was just making sure. Well, that's neat then. So, yeah, you're not a newbie.
I'm a newbie again. I'm an old veteran, but a new newbie.
Okay, well, I love it. Well, hey, you can go out to Chicken Pickle, and you're not alone, so that's going on. And then I love this Saturday, Wingapalooza is going on at Interest Bank Arena starting at 11.
Ooh, that sounds
and you can
amazing.
enjoy, all the wings you want from 20 different restaurants and local chefs here in town.
Some boneless, maybe?
Yep. Do you
All
like
right.
boneless better than bone-in?
They're just a little less messy. But I don't mind messy. Wings are good. I like wings all the way around, as I'm sure you do, Anthony.
Oh, yeah. I love me some good wings, mild wings, barbecue wings. You can even put some Heinz 57 on my wings, and I'll be satisfied with that. But I do have a question since y'all was talking about music. Is there any good jazz spots? Because I'm a jazz music lover. I'm a David Sanborn fan. Rest in peace. Where can we find some good jazz at?
I love that question because I know some people written. Do you know, Jeff? I'm going to look here while we're talking because I'm not a big
I
jazz
don't know.
listener. Let's see. You know what? Some of your callers need to help us out with that one, I think.
Walker's Jazz Lounge.
Walker's Jazz Lounge. Where
That is at
located?
252 North Mosley.
Okay. Because, see, I'm kind of starved for it because they done changed the event format at that place called Bradley Fair, so we don't get those acts no more. And
Okay.
I'm kind of starved for it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We need to hear from some of the callers or listeners, rather, and see what they say. And then you go check out those venues for us, Anthony, and let us know what you think.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Walker's Jazz Lounge. I'm going to start with that.
There you go, right downtown. I've got another music question for you, Jamel. We're talking with Jamel Holoparik from Visit Wichita. So I make playlists of specific genres. I've got a huge country playlist, rap, rock, everything. And today I started working on a show tunes playlist. And I know we have an amazing theater scene in Wichita. Yeah. Do you like show tunes? Do you have a favorite show tune? Do you have a favorite play or musical?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? First off, you're right. Music Theater Wichita puts on fabulous shows.
Yes.
And I just went to Frozen the other day and watched that there at Century 2. Fantastic. I mean, the caliber of the ensemble and the leads are incredible. But I don't know on show tunes. What is yours?
I like, is it Seasons of Love from Rent, the one that goes 5,000, 600 minutes. That's a good one.
Yes, I love that. That's very good.
Obviously,
very good.
Hamilton has a lot that are really good. Have you seen Hamilton?
No, I haven't. I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's on Disney Plus. I've got about 300 songs. There's a lot all that jazz, do re.
All that jazz is good. Yeah.
Do re mi. There's so many songs that you've probably heard of. Oklahoma, Porgy and Bess. I mean, there's so many songs and plays that we've all heard of, and now I'm just trying to take the time to learn about them.
Right, I love that. That's a good idea. What is your favorite genre, would you say?
Well, I like the Eagles a lot, so rock and roll is a favorite. I mean, I like everything. I like a lot of different kinds of music. I find, if it has words, if it has singing and instruments and not screaming and not instrumental.
Yep.
So I like people who can sing.
Yeah, I do too. I kind of like a mix of, I love country, I love Christian.
Yes.
And I love, rock and roll too. But those are kind of my favorite. What about you, Anthony, other than jazz?
Other than jazz, okay, I love my jazz. I love gospel music. I love some R&B.
I'll send you my R&B playlist.
A little bit of rap, but not a lot of rap because I don't like the direction some rap goes in.
Yeah.
The direction some rap goes in, you can put a C at the beginning of it. But I love gospel. As a matter of fact, I'm the church keyboardist, and the funny thing is, we was talking about school earlier. I flunked class piano, but I'm the church organist. Figured that one out.
Doesn't make much sense, does it?
It doesn't. And now you play every Sunday. That's terrific.
I also play the saxophone too. So.
Wow! Look at this talented guy you have in your studio.
It's amazing. He needs to start bringing his instruments in or something.
For real.
I'll have to get extra for that. That's name, image, and likeness.
So, Jamel, did we miss anything? Are there any other events that we should be talking about?
You know what, dear? The only thing I was just going to add on my list is Alice Cooper, Too Close for Comfort, is this Sunday at the Park City Arena at 8 p.m. if you want to get tickets to that.
That's a good one. We appreciate it, Jamel, as always. Thanks for indulging us in all sorts of things.
You bet. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.
All right, thanks. You too. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
You feel ready? You got your jazz. You got your events coming up. Maybe you got a show tune or two that you should be listening to. That was an educational segment for you.
Yeah, that was educational because you was talking about some stuff I didn't know about. So, But yeah, I think I'm ready.
And who knew that a guy like me could indulge in show tunes? I'm going to learn. You good with that?
Yeah, let's try it. We could try it.
Okay. All right, we'll take a break. We got almost another hour left of this show. Can you believe it? It's flown by.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Are you having fun?
I think I am. If I'm not, I'm too tired to tell.
That makes me happy. I'm glad we're all having fun here. We don't need Bob to have fun, right? In fact,
I'm not going to answer that.
Does Bob detract from the fun?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to get in the middle of that.
You should.
Nope.
This
I'm
is
not
your
gonna
one
do it.
chance.
I'm not going to furnish the stick. I'm not going to do it.
All right, fair enough. We'll take a break, come back with hour number 2. Anthony, the big fella's in for Bob today. It's Bob and Jeff on KFH.
Radio you can touch.
Oh, gasp. I'm so excited.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
As a high Bob Lutz, higher than a kite, my answer would be, no, man, I can't do it. Hey, man, I'm high.
Oh, shocking. Monstrous. Jeff Lutz.
Please, someone, at Bob Lutz, tell him how misguided he is.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
It's an excursion into the odd and into the very, very different.
Stand by for action.
Welcome back, hour number 2 of Bob and Jeff. Anthony, the big fella, in for Bob today. Anthony can barely contain himself over that promo, I guess.
Man.
Is that what we're laughing at?
Man, I'm trying to picture Bob high.
Do you have to picture it? Doesn't he kind of act like it on the daily, every single day? Doesn't some of the stuff that come out of his mouth make you say, is he high right now?
All I could do,
who knows?
All I could do is I could just picture that song being played. I was going to do a radio show until I got high.
Yeah, well, he's been a big Afro Man fan for a long time, I think.
He's been eating them gummies, haven't he?
I can't speak to any of that. But, as far as I'm concerned, Bob is an upstanding citizen. And he'll be front and center tonight at McAdams Park. He and the Jackie Robinson statue, which will be unveiled tonight in just a couple hours, 3 hours almost.
I'm so proud of that moment. I'm actually proud of that moment because of what they went through. I mean, the theft of the original one and to see all this coming back full circle. I mean, it couldn't happen to a better person.
Been an interesting week or at least the last few days, weekend to carry over to Monday, Friday through Monday. Friday, Ricky Alderetti, who had pleaded guilty to several crimes, some, kind of more serious than the simple theft of the statue. He was sentenced to 15 years, which is serious stuff and not something to celebrate in any, circumstance.
Right.
But there's your justice, and hopefully now with the statue going back up, everyone can still heal, move on, and celebrate Jackie Robinson.
And Bob, he just seems pretty much like, he doesn't seem bitter. He's like really wishing the best for this man.
Seems like it, yes.
I mean, most people are like, well, whatever he gets, he deserves it, on and on. And Bob is just the total opposite. He said, I hope the man can get some help. He said, I would like to see him turn his life around. I mean, how many people do that? I mean, especially in a world where everybody wants vengeance.
Yeah, and who knows what that sentence will look like as Ricky Alderetti serves it, if he, makes an effort to better himself. I assume that he probably will. You hope that in however many years it is before he comes out that he's, reshaped and is a pillar for his family.
I could actually see Bob going to go visit that man, to get a gauge on his character as he's serving his time.
Yeah, they've spoken.
Right. And I could see if, he behaves himself while incarcerated, I could actually see Bob asking him to reduce his sentence. I could just see that for some reason.
Could happen. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that will all play out, but the statue is unveiled tonight. We saw it going across I-70 from Colorado here into the Wichita area. We've seen it go up. We've seen it the concrete poured. We've seen it covered up, and now we'll see it uncovered tonight for the first time, hopefully the last and only time.
Right.
Let's just leave this one alone.
Yep.
That'd be the hope.
Right.
Regardless of what you might, just leave this one alone.
Leave this one alone.
I'm with you.
Back to what our parents taught us. If it isn't yours, don't touch it.
I'm with you. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good lesson.
Yeah.
By the way, Anthony, the IHOP hotline is brought to you by IHOP. IHOP is excited to bring back its all-you-can-eat pancakes deal through September 15th. That's something you will partake in.
Do I look like I need some pancakes?
Everybody needs pancakes. I had pancakes just Saturday, and they were wonderful.
I'm glad you can enjoy them for me.
They were not
at
IHOP, unfortunately. They were homemade pancakes.
So what does IHOP stand for?
You know what it stands for. It doesn't stand for anything anymore, but it's kind of like KFC. It just is what it is. But it used to
stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Not anymore. It's just KFC.
Yeah, have you seen the movie Coming to America? The barbershop scene?
Yeah, 40 years ago it did stand for Kentucky Fried Chicken. It does not anymore.
When they said the boy mama named him Clay, so I'm going to call him Clay. So it stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken, so I'm going to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It used to stand for International House of Pancakes. Now it's just IHOP.
That's the acronym. Just like, what's those words now? We don't say I don't know anymore. We say IDK.
Do we?
Right. IDK means I don't know.
I'm still an I don't know guy. I'm not really a internet shorthand. That whole thing missed me. I'm too old for internet shorthand, but I'm too young for the telegram. I don't know. I was kind of in between eras.
TTYL.
I talk to you later. I know what they all mean. I know what they all mean. I just don't use them because I'm not a child. Do you use them?
Sometimes I do, especially if someone texts me and they getting on my nerves. Talk to you later. BYE.
That's just bye. I texted you earlier, and you said okay, but you spelled it O-K-A-Y. You didn't even shorten that.
That's that spell checker. That's artificial intelligence.
Earlier, a while ago, you told me I could watch a WWE PLE. WWE, another one of those that doesn't stand for anything anymore.
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Not anymore. It's just WWE now. Look it up.
Well, I guess we can play this game, huh?
mean, we can, but I don't think any. You can go on WWE's website. You will not see one single reference to World Wrestling Entertainment. You won't see it. It's not there.
Well, since we're talking WWE.
What is the brand? Is the brand World Wrestling Entertainment or is the brand WWE?
WWE.
Is the brand Kentucky Fried Chicken or is the brand KFC?
Here we go back to this KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, what do you go in there to get? You go in there to get fried chicken, right?
I go get the potato wedges. Isn't that what you get? Isn't that what everybody gets?
Yeah, sometimes, but I like the original recipe chicken.
What's different about it now? What did they change?
The original recipe.
I thought it was like 27 herbs and spices. Is that how many?
It might be more than that by now. They might have added some extras that they didn't tell us
Have you
about.
ever tried to replicate the herbs and spices and make your own Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Mm-mm.
Never?
Nope.
Why not?
Give me some slap your mama seasoning.
Is Kentucky Fried Chicken... I mean, wouldn't you... Is that really where you want to go for fried chicken? You personally, Anthony? Is that your number one stop for fried chicken?
I don't have a preferred number one.
Well, give me a top 5. Give me a Mount Rushmore of Wichita fried chicken stops.
I'm not going to let you put me on the spot like that.
This is what we do, Anthony. There's no backing out.
All
when
right.
you are challenged, you accept the challenge.
My used to be go-to was Church's Chicken.
Is there still Church's Chicken?
Yeah, there's still Church's.
There's one by WSU, right? Or like on Hillside?
Yeah, one right there on, not on Hillside anymore. There's one right there on 13th and Oliver, right there on the corner.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had Church's.
They also had one out there on West Street. The big knock on Church's was they would say you go to Church's to get a piece of chicken and a bag of grease.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, if you don't mind the cholesterol, then you go for it.
Okay, so you have
eat it without feeling guilty.
You have every now and then. You probably shouldn't eat it every day.
No, you don't want to eat it every day. The fried okra, the apple turnover or apple pie, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So Church's was my go-to.
So that's your only one.
Back in the day, until
you do not have a Rushmore for this.
I wish we had a Grandy's in town. I miss Grandy's.
Grandy's was amazing.
Yeah.
How did we lose Grandy's of all places?
How did we lose Boston Market of all places?
Well, Boston Market was kind of a chain. Grandy's sort of is, but Grandy's was home to a lot of people. That was us.
I was sad, though.
Tell me one thing that Grandy's made that wasn't the best.
Right. You couldn't find nothing bad.
Rolls, best. Green beans, the best.
I had one bad experience
with Grandy's. Chicken nuggets, the best.
I had one bad experience with Grandy's. And I was in Oklahoma City at this particular
not
time.
here.
Right, not here, but I was in Oklahoma City about 5 years ago. The service was poor. The employees were poor. The food was cold. I was upset, and I wanted my money back.
That's not good. That's substandard. That's not what
it came
we
up on Google to give a review, and I gave them a F++.
Well, that's hard to do.
I typed it in.
Okay. 0 stars?
Well, you got to give them 1 star for some reason. I don't know why you got to give them a star. I said
1 star is a pretty bad look for everybody involved.
It should have been no star.
I'm with you. If you could do no stars, probably that's what it would be.
Right.
I had a not so great. I went to Grandy's the last time was probably like 10 years ago in Texas.
How was it?
Average. Very average. Wasn't like I remembered. People let things slip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they shouldn't. There are not that many Grandy's left. They're only in Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. Have you ever had Bojangles?
I haven't had Bojangles.
That is a hole in your resume, Anthony. Best restaurant in the history of America.
You think so?
Best fried chicken, better than Grandy's, better French fries than everybody, better rolls. Yes, it's true. Believe it.
Okay. I'm not going to argue.
Nor should you. You got your Dallas Cowboys jersey on. You got your Dallas Cowboys hat on.
Yeah, I got my Emmett. Make sure you emphasize I have my Emmett
I was
Smith
going
jersey
to emphasize that because I don't see a Dak jersey. I don't see a C.D. Lamb jersey. I don't even see a Jason Witten jersey. You're going way back. You're going to the days of when the Cowboys were an upstanding, proud franchise, and now they are there. They're there. That's about it.
We can expect 12-5 and a first-round playoff loss.
Does that do it for you? Is that enough for you? You're the Oklahoma State of the NFL.
I just ruffled my fellow Cowboy fans' feathers with that statement.
Don't they know it? Shouldn't they already know that?
But who do we blame? Do we blame the quarterback or do we blame the team? I guess the quarterback is the most important position, so everybody wants to get rid of Dak. But who do you turn to then? Trey Lance ain't ready.
Well, Dak's fine. I don't think there's a problem with Dak. And Lance isn't the guy. Lance will never be the guy. Dak is going to get paid. He's your quarterback. He's your quarterback now. He's your quarterback of the future. You're going to either do it with him or not. But he's just another one of several guys that have come and gone since Troy Aikman that have not been able to finish the job.
Then if we pay Dak, where does that leave Micah Parsons? Where does that leave C.D. Lamb?
You're not starting over.
See,
the Chiefs have made it work.
But, with Patrick Mahomes' contract, they kind of structured that to where they could get some pieces.
And why? Why did they do that?
Because they wanted to keep this train rolling.
And they wanted to what?
They wanted to work.
They wanted to win.
Right, win.
Does Dak want to win or does Dak want the money? First and foremost.
That's a good question.
I'm sure he'll say he wants to win, but he hasn't signed the long-term deal yet.
And technically,
he's going to be the highest-paid quarterback in the league pretty soon.
Technically, he has one, just not the big one. If you look at his stats compared to Patrick Mahomes, they're equal, except for one thing. Patrick Mahomes has the rings, Dak doesn't. But then
Patrick Mahomes is a winner.
But then if you look at the top 10 quarterback list on salaries, and you see Kyler Murray,
Jordan Love. Doesn't make any sense. Jordan Love's good.
But Jordan at least has won a playoff game. But
he has.
What has Kyler done?
He's done nothing.
Nothing.
But sometimes you either got to pay the guy that's good or blow it up. And the Cardinals have done both. They've blown it up and tried to pay their quarterback. So they got Marvin Harrison Jr. They're on.
That's just going to be someone he could play pitch and catch with. They don't have a running game, I don't think.
It's tough.
The best running back that Cardinals organization have had, you can't even say Edgerrin James because he was on his last leg.
Larry Centers?
No, it would have been Otis O.J. Anderson. Shameful that he should be in the Hall of Fame and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
You know what you should do?
He's in the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, but he's not in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Well, the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame is a little below the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Anthony.
Right. And if you look at O.J. Anderson's stats, and he's a 2-time Super Bowl winner, and he's not in the Hall of Fame, something's wrong with that picture.
I don't know what to tell you. Hall of Fame's tough to get into. You know what you should do? You should do your own Hall of Fame.
And I think the man is deceased. At least some of his family members should be able to accept the award for him. They need to do the right thing.
Otis Anderson is living. Maybe we'll get him on the show.
Well, make it happen.
If anyone could, it would be me.
I mean, if it took they just inducted, and it took them 35 years to get him in there.
Well, Steve McMichael took him a long time.
Otis Anderson should have been in way before even some of these guys have been in.
Otis Anderson has 10,000 rushing yards.
2 Super Bowl rings.
81 touchdowns.
And a Super Bowl MVP, I do believe.
1-time All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowl, 2-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he's got a good resume. NFC MVP by the UPI. I wouldn't complain if he went in.
I wouldn't either. He should be in.
I'm with you.
And I bet you if we did a poll question and people called in, they would agree with me.
No one calls.
They need to call.
Well, we got Corleone Young coming up.
Okay.
And we got to take a break.
I bet he would agree with me.
Well, you can ask him.
All right.
I don't know how much of a football fan he is. And I don't know how much of a 1980s football fan he is.
Okay.
That could be a problem. But we'll ask. I'll let you do that.
All right.
Corleone Young, former standout at Wichita East as a basketball player. He's got a event coming up for first responders that we'll talk about coming up next. Stay with us. It's Bob and Jeff on KFH.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say, I'm sorry. And then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee for your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
To the IHOP hotline, where we are happy to be joined by a former standout at Wichita East High School and a City League basketball legend. His name is Corleone Young. Corleone, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we want to talk about this first responder event that you're putting together coming up this weekend. But first, tell us and tell our listeners what you've been up to over the last couple of years. I know you've been in Wichita. What are you doing? And what have you been up to?
Well, I've just been busy trying to serve is what I call it, man. The community did so much for me. And so coming back home and having the events that I have and trying to show as much gratitude to the community and push that for the next generation to show it and to give people their flowers and to honor people that really make the wheels go around. So I felt that this first responders event was ideal for what I've just been wanting to do lately. I've been working with youth and teaching social skills, and I became a mason and a shriner in the last 6 years. And so it's just put me in so much more of a position to do so much more for other people. So this event was something that we felt was ideal because the first responders do everything under the sun, from rescuing the cat out the tree to saving lives from fires and different emergencies. So we're inviting all first responders out August 10th to the Median Shrine Center. That's at 130 North Topeka, Wichita, Kansas, 67210. We will be there from 10:30 to 1:30. Now, what makes this so special, brother, is that for all first responders on duty, we have a drive-through set up. We know they can't sit and stay that long. So I said, you know what? We need to have a drive-through side for the first responders who are all on call. Any first responder that is off that day, that isn't busy, that wants to bring their family and come and enjoy the cookout, we please are asking them to come down and spend the day with us.
That sounds great. Anthony, go ahead.
All right, big man. Corleone, this is Anthony. We go back a long ways.
Man,
we go back a long ways. I was telling.
Yeah, we go back a long
ways. Back when there was an Osco drug sitting on the corner of Central and Hillside.
Central and Hillside. Boy, my grandma used to say, go get me some Tylenol, a bottle of salve, and some and some witch hazel.
Right.
I'm flying down Hillside my freshman year, but brother, I want to say thank you to you, man.
Man, but
for everything you've ever done for me, man, I really appreciate it.
And Jeff didn't think I would ask this question, but I want to go back some years because you went through the process of coaches clamoring at your door, ringing your phone. Well, I don't think we had cell phones like that, like we do today. But you made the decision to go pro straight out of high school. Now, if you had to do all over again, and I know it's always a mundane or hypothetical question, do you think you would have tried the college experience and go through that whole process of the recruitment going on? Because
let's open the box. Let's do it.
Let's open that box.
Anthony's a brave man.
Let's really open that box. I love him. But Anthony, you know what? With today's NIL and with the way that student athletes are able to market themselves, are able to brand themselves, able to almost establish a business within themselves. It's so hard. It's really hard. I know God gave me a direction, and at that time, that was what I felt. But I'm going to tell you this. As a man of the man I just spoke of, I would honestly say whatever was best for my family, because that's what I did it for, man. I did it for my family.
Right.
And I think today I want these kids to really take advantage of these experiences and opportunities they have now to market and capitalize on almost what we could say an amateur career. You get paid now for being an amateur athlete if you have all the tangibles, good grades, marketable, well-respectable, humble in his community. That's why I push community service to all my athletes in my nonprofit I have, because that is what gets you those jobs later on that you really need. They say, hey, tell me about your community service experience your senior year or all your high school year, and you're like, I went to church a couple of times, and we, oh, I did. I helped set out the Easter eggs for the Easter egg hunt that we had. But that is all great. Any service is wonderful. I just want to get our youth to understand that when you help somebody else, you won't believe what's coming your way, and that's what I'm a testament of right now.
Yeah, that's an incredible message. We're talking with Corleone Young. You know him from Wichita East High School and the work he's done throughout this community. So, yeah, where did that come from, Corleone, and why is service to others so important to you? Is that something that was instilled in you as a kid at all? And with the Shriners and with the Masons, what kind of opportunities have you been given?
As a kid, I can remember my mother always telling me, do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
Right.
And I really didn't do a good job when I was younger. Sometimes being an athlete, it puts you in this selfish mindset, and it isn't just intentionally. It's because as an athlete, you require so much of everybody's attention, your coaches, your trainers, your teachers, that when you get older, if you really want to help where you just came from, you have to go into service. And my brief experience with depression when I retired is how I started this dialogue with people about, talking about things, especially as athletes. Practice is over, leave practice at the gym, even shortcomings, being able to get over those shortcomings. When you help someone and you serve someone, it helps you in those times. So it's just something I was called to do. And the Shriners and the Masons have given me such a great platform. The Kansas Masonic Foundation and Kansas and Wichita area Masons is the group that I represent and I work in. We look for all opportunities to just help people, help the youth, especially our youth. But we look in any area of society that may need a helping hand. And so that, man, it moved me to really be more engaged now since I've retired than I kind of was with my community when I was playing. And so it's something that I just wanted to make a job of mine to see where I can honor people in the community, push the excellence and the talents of others, because they will come back to Wichita and they will get jobs in Wichita. That's what keeps our community successful.
And I want to say that the work you're doing is very well appreciated. One of the things I like to do even with my podcast, I like to ask these young people, the importance of their grade point average and what's the importance of an education. So how do you also emphasize that to the young people, especially, like you say, with all this NIL and all this transfer portal? What's the number one message that you can convey to these young people going to the next level?
Going to the next level, there's a few things. If you give me just a moment, I want to touch on a few.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And one is not more important than the other, so there's no list. But I feel that these in my heart are the things that I really home in on with the youth that I mentor. One is social acceptance and social and environmental awareness, meaning knowing where you are, understanding what their environment needs and what you have to do to function in it. So what does that mean? From a youth, starting from kindergarten and first graders, we teach environmental awareness, how to identify yourself in the community by structures, by buildings, by awareness of area. And then that gets older, and that enhances as you get older. What happens is you identify certain things by area. Secondly is the financial literacy that all youth must have. Financial literacy is so key in today's economics, especially with our youth, because today they can start a business at the drop of a hat with the talent and with social media and with all the different categories of technology that they can use, from STEM, coding. So we push financial literacy. And then lastly, all those social skills, communication, accountability. Discipline comes with attitude and decision-making, positive decision-making.
Mm-hmm.
We push all those social skills, brother. And I think when you home in on all those things together, a future for yourself, meaning where do I see myself? What am I good at? Do I want to go to college? Because right now, I'm pushing early startup for kids that may see trades and different things as an avenue of life. Because we always got to remember, without those tradesmen in the community, we got to wonder who do we call?
Right.
Our plumbers, our electricians, our structural engineers, all those people. So all those things put into one basket, and I know you say, well, that's a lot of things. It's really not. Just when you're a kid, when you're a young person, I tell them dream. Keep dreaming, please. Don't sell yourself short. You don't know just yet. Keep thinking of new things. Keep closing your eyes and seeing yourself somewhere. One day, you will be there. So,
yeah, it's such a good message, Corleone, and we wish we could talk to you all day. We could talk to you all day, but before you go, tell us again about the event on August 10th.
Hey, everybody, please, if you can, listen up. Come out August 10th to the Midian Shrine Center. That's at 130 North Topeka, Wichita, Kansas, 67202. What we're having is the first inaugural, because we're going to do this more than once. This is the First Responders Appreciation Day luncheon. We're going to have a cookout for all first responders, on duty and off duty. Please come down to the Shrine Center. Enjoy the festivities. We're going to have free snow cones, free hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, pop, beverages. We have desserts. We just want to do as much as we can to show appreciation for all our first responders in the Wichita area.
That's awesome, Corleone. We really appreciate that. We really appreciate everything that you do. I'll give my dad your best. Tell him you're doing well, and hope to talk to you again in the near future.
Tell Pops to come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you can, just for a little bit.
Will do. Thanks, Corleone.
Hey, thank you, guys. God bless you, and keep spreading the good word, guys.
Thank you. That was good stuff. I enjoyed that. And you did a heck of a job, too, Ant.
Hey,
Ant, as he called you.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to do this.
You got it. I think you got it down. Max, it is. It's time to play the game, Anthony. Now you got to be locked in.
Are you ready?
Now you might know all of these. You might know none of these. You might know some of these. I'm going to give you the current or former NBA player. You're going to tell me what country they're from.
That's not fair. But I'm gonna be okay. Let's go for it.
You think you can do it?
Let's try it. Let's try it.
Patrick Ewing.
Cambodia.
What?
He's from USA.
He's from Jamaica.
That's what I meant. Jamaica.
He's from Jamaica.
You know what I mean?
What about Pau Gasol?
Greece.
Come on. Now you're going to struggle. You might not get any of these.
Yeah, I might not get none of these.
He's from Spain, Anthony.
Oh, okay.
He's from Spain. Hakeem Olajuwon?
Oh, he's from Nigeria.
There you go.
The Nigerian Nightmare.
You got it. What about Joel Embiid?
Doom, 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 doom.
That's what it kind of feels like.
Right.
I don't think I would have gotten this one, although I actually, when his name came up, I might have thought of this country, but I don't really remember. Where's Joel Embiid from? Number 1 pick out of the University of Kansas, or 3, or whatever he was.
Oh, my. Where is Joel Embiid? Can I Google search it?
Of course not. He's from Cameroon.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
You weren't going to get that one.
I wasn't going to get that one.
Where is Manu Ginobili from?
Manu Ginobili. He hadn't played in so long. I forget where he played for San Antonio. I remember that much
He
about
did. He was quite a good player.
Greece.
Why you guess everybody with Greece?
I don't know.
Ginobili. He's Argentinian.
Argentina. Okay.
Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic. Dallas Mavericks.
He does play for the Dallas Mavericks. Where was he born?
Europe.
Yep.
I got that
you want
much
to be
right.
more specific?
No, I'm gonna leave it right there and know I'm at least partially right.
I don't know. I think
you said right.
This isn't a continent game. This is a country game. He's from Slovenia.
I wouldn't have got that. I need some callers to come in. That way I can have a lifeline.
What about Dikembe Mutombo?
Dikembe Mutombo. Not in my house.
Where's he from?
He's from Nigeria, too.
He's from the Congo.
Oh, my goodness.
Can we play? Stojakovic?
I ain't going to get that one. I'm not going to get that one.
Arvydas Sabonis.
Arvydas Sabonis. Czechoslovakia.
Lithuania. You're not. How about Detlef Schrempf?
You sound like he's from an island.
He's from Germany.
Germany, okay.
Steven Adams.
Max, you know the answer to that question?
Of course he doesn't. You're supposed to.
You're making me look bad
what about
now.
Luol Deng?
Africa.
He's from South Sudan. Haven't you seen all the Olympic stuff about him?
As a matter of fact, he had some issues with some players here recently.
No, he's been paying for the South Sudan's travel and gear and everything that they've needed. That's why they were in the Olympics.
Okay,
all right. Here's the next sort of game that we're going to play.
Oh, let's try
I'm going to
this.
tell you every Olympic sport that I've watched this year. You're going to tell me if you've also watched it.
Okay.
How much Olympics have you watched?
I've watched as much as I could with the time that I have. My wife has watched more of it than I have. She's been watching the gymnastics, volleyball a little bit, I think.
Here are all the sports that I've watched because I don't go to just the big ones. I'm going to watch the Olympics. I'm going to see stuff I can't normally see. So I've watched archery. Have you watched archery?
No.
No archery?
No.
That stuff's interesting, man. You should watch some archery.
I'll tell you what I was watching. It looked like a mix between basketball and field hockey, whatever sport that was.
So you were watching handball.
Is that what it is, handball?
Yeah. Where they run into each other and throw the ball into the net?
Yeah, I watched that. I was like, what
That's
in the world?
handball. Oh, they don't have lacrosse in the Olympics. I don't think.
Well, they have trampoline, for God's sake.
Not this year.
Got breakdancing.
Basketball? Have you watched any basketball?
I watched a little bit, but not as much.
Okay, you watched a little bit. That's all we need.
Because my timing doesn't coincide with my timing.
It's hard. I get it. Have you watched any cycling? I watched very little cycling.
I saw very little cycling when it was very wet and rainy and the guy almost wiped out.
Did you watch dressage? No.
Dressage.
Diving? Have you watched any diving?
No, I haven't
watched
seen
synchronized diving. I love diving. Probably my favorite.
I seen two guys dive in the pool, and that was all I seen of the swimming.
That might be synchronized diving. I want to watch some diving, but I don't know if I'll be home enough. Have you watched any fencing?
I sure haven't watched that.
Oh, it's fun. Gymnastics?
I've seen some gymnastics.
We know you watched handball.
Right.
Have you watched any canoeing?
No.
Oh, it's good stuff, man.
I mean, I could see people canoeing down the Arkansas River.
Rugby?
Rugby? I think I've seen a clip of rugby.
Okay, that counts. Surfing?
No.
No surfing. I've watched a little.
You mean
It's not interesting. I didn't like it.
They're doing that in like
I've seen the beach
in the South
volleyball.
Pacific somewhere.
Somewhere.
I've seen a little bit of beach volleyball.
Yeah, I think you're right. Table tennis?
No, I haven't seen that.
Water polo?
Nope.
Really? Volleyball?
I've seen beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball, that's on here, and then track and field. I watched the entire women's high jump yesterday.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, huh?
Watch a shot put or any of the hammer throws.
I've seen the shot put.
Canadian guy threw the hammer thing like.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Put the hammer down, huh?
I like seeing where they get turns, 3 turns to get it. That's kind of my thing. The track events. I don't want to see just guy one heat, I want 3 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the hammer 3 times. If you miss, if you suck, you get another chance.
Right.
That's what life is all about.
Third time
getting
is
3
the charm.
chances at something.
Third time is the charm.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's the first time.
Right.
Sometimes it's the second time. Have you had fun today, Anthony?
I've had fun today.
Well, it's been fun looking at you.
We need to do this more often.
We probably should, and we probably will.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Get some sleep.
Yeah.
Recharge.
That's
what you need tonight.
See, I would be open on Fridays.
And we'll regroup.
All right.
Good stuff today, my friend.
Glad to have it.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks to Brandon Clark and to Jamel Hollaperic and to Corleone Young. Good guests today. Bob will be back tomorrow. Got the statue unveiling tonight. We'll talk to you Tuesday. Later.
Trying to figure out what to eat for dinner yet again? With Knorr sides and bouillon as your not-so-secret ingredient, you can skip the drive-thru and do dinner at home. Knorr Taste Combos provide a menu of delicious, affordable, and well-balanced meals that you can prepare in 30 minutes or less. Visit Knorr.com to get quick and easy recipe ideas for your home-cooked weeknight dinners. It's not fast food, but it's so good.
Everybody knows it. Toyota trucks are the stuff of legends. Rugged, durable, everlasting. Toyota makes trucks that just don't quit. And now Toyota is driving that legacy toward the future with 2 of their most powerful trucks ever, the new Tundra and the all-new Tacoma. In a half-ton Tundra, you can rule the roads. From the comfort of a spacious cabin with connected tech and plenty of hauling power, the Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Or check out the all-new 24 Tacoma, redesigned and electrified to maximize your adventure. With a bevy of available off-road driving and power transfer modes, you will effortlessly crush the conditions. And with the Tacoma's reimagined interior, you'll do it in style. And right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.